Hey everybody, it's Josh again with Nerds That Geek. I'm here with C.R. Richards, taking time out of her day to come talk with us about writing. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Not bad at all. How's day 2 treating you so far?
It's going really well. It's a lot busier than it was yesterday, but this time they've really done a great job organizing everything. So it's faster and easier for us to get from our booths down to the panel room. So 2 thumbs way up for Denver Pop Culture Con.
Perfect. How was day 1 for you? I've heard from many people that day 1 was pretty good.
I had a fantastic day 1. I did 2 panels, and we had a lot of good audience interaction, and you go back up to the floor, and it really flowed well. So I was able to talk to some great folks at my book signing. It was just a great day. So
that's great. That's great. As far as new projects, what do you got? What do you got new?
Oh, I've got book 3 of my Heart of the Warrior series coming out just in time for Halloween. So I plan to do a really huge Halloween themed release party and contest, things like that. So looking forward to that, and I know people were hoping that I would have the book available at the con, but I just couldn't swing it. So.
The creative and writing process is a process. So is the publishing part. But as far as your writing process goes, where do you start? What is it that starts you typing or writing out your story?
Oh, I think the first thing I do is sit down and just think about it and kind of let my mind drift on how I want the story to go, and then I do a brief outline, and it's just from there it builds onto what I call the really crappy draft. I don't worry about grammar, I don't worry about structure or anything. I just get the words on the page from the beginning to the end. And after that, then you can take time to really map out what's going to happen, focus on the craft, but you gotta be able to say that you've gotten that rough draft on the page first before you do anything else.
Now, you said you're on book 3 of this story. Did you write out the entire arc, or do you write each book as it comes?
I started writing this whole thing in 2004, so I wrote book 1 through 9, and it's the future books that are coming out 4 through 9 are going to dramatically change than what I had initially planned, but that's not a bad thing. I mean, the characters and the story kind of developed on its own, but I do have in my head what's going to happen and how the series is going to end.
That's great. So what was it that started you actually writing? What were you doing before, like washing windows or something like? What was it that said, I'm going to be a writer now?
Sure. I've always been a writer, even in grade school, and I used to be a journalist, but I got tired of eating top ramen. So I went into information technology and computers, programming, project management, and then in 2010 I just realized I really miss writing. So I'm just going to write the story I've had running around in my mind, and just do it as a hobby. And that was the Heart of the Warrior series, and I thought, well, I love this story. I'm really excited about the characters. I want to share it. Why not try and get it published and kind of go from there?
For somebody that does have a story in their head and does want to get it published, what tips or tricks do you have for someone that just wants to try and get something out there?
Sure. If you're brand new to writing and you're really green and you don't know how to go about it, I suggest you do what I did. I joined Rocky Mountain Fiction Writers, or they joined their local fiction writer organization. They've got classes, networking, critique groups. I had so much support and help and advice from more experienced authors. Rocky Mountain Fiction Writers was one of the big reasons I was able to get published, because they're just such a supportive group.
That's awesome, and I mean, it's all about local stuff at this show, especially.
Oh yeah.
As a local writer, do you give tips and tricks to other people that may write into you and say, hey, CR, I have this story, how do I write the first sentence even?
I do. One of my favorite things to do is to be a mentor to new writers, and I have a few friends that one of my favorite new writers, has just released her book. She's doing book signings in June, and seeing her go through her process from beginning to getting it, somebody buying it, a publisher buying it, and then seeing it out on the shelf, I think I'm getting as much enjoyment out of that as she is. So yeah, I do that a lot, and people encouraged me when I was just starting out, and I just feel strongly about doing the same thing for others.
That's great. That's great. As far as people finding you on the internets, where can people find you?
You can find ties to my social media, my blog, everything at crrichards.com.
It's synergetic. That's the way we like to do things here. As far as the show for the rest of the weekend, where is your booth? Where can people find you? And what do you have planned for the rest of the weekend?
Sure. Today I'm doing a signing at 3:30, and come see me in Authors Alley at 3:30, booth number 5. And then tomorrow I have another panel, The Business of Writing, in the morning, and I'm doing my final signing at 5 p.m. and I think it's booth number 7 in Authors Alley.
Not your final signing.
Well, thank you.
But your last signing of the show.
The show, yes. Good point.
Well, thank you for taking the time to hanging out with us today, and I hope the rest of the weekend goes great.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Thank you.